Good morning, Frederick. Today is Wednesday, May 15th. I'm your host, Danny Gurry. Just a quick recap of who I am and what this show is all about. I've gotten some questions lately. People aren't quite sure what's going on. So I worked at a local radio station for almost 6 years. Decided my passion for helping local businesses, nonprofits, and people could be better served working for myself. So I started my own company called Promo Circus. Now, Promo Circus provides promotions, events, and marketing support to local businesses. I really want to help people succeed. And the virtual promotions director for radio stations across the country. Because quite honestly, promotions directors like I was here aren't really popular anymore because of budget cuts and, companies amalgamating and forming together. So a lot of these radio stations just have air staff doing their promotions. So I want to help them and provide some virtual assistance. So while I was building my website, I thought, hey, I can just create a show to highlight businesses, nonprofits, and interesting people of Frederick. Not sure if anyone will watch, but I can do it. So I reached out to Shannon Flannery, who created Everything Frederick and More. And she loved the idea because she is all about supporting local as well. So the two of us have gotten together to kind of partner to make sure that we are doing everything we can to help businesses in Frederick, as well as highlighting nonprofits. And every now and then, it's just fun to highlight cool people in Frederick. Now, you can follow the stream on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, obviously. And then the short clips of the show are posted to TikTok and Instagram as well. You can help by obviously sharing, liking, commenting, engaging with the content. Even just a simple like actually helps the algorithm to show that we are doing something that people want. So that quick good morning on the comments, I love it. I try to answer them all. That helps a ton. And if you're bored and you got nothing to do and you can stream to multiple places like YouTube and Facebook at the same time and comment on both of those, it really helps. So we appreciate all of that. All right, just wanted to clear that up because I ran into a few people last night who are just like, hey, what's happening? What is this show I keep seeing popping up on my feed? All right, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys have been wonderful. The support has been overwhelming. I am so pleased with where we are, just about 35 days in or so, and I couldn't be happier. But I wanted to grow, really, so that we can help these businesses get farther. All right, let's move on. Unofficial election results for the Board of Education. So basically, the top 6 people for the Board of Ed advance to the general election. And then I believe 4 are voted in, but I'm going to find that out for sure. I'm not 100%. So it looks like Jamie Brennan, Colt Morningstar Black, Josh Bokey, Chad King Wilson Sr., and Janie Monier, along with Tabitha McLaughlin, will advance to the November election. Now, we will work earlier on getting interviews with all the candidates well before November, and I will get those posted to YouTube. In fact, hopefully right after the summer, we'll get with all of them. It might be kind of fun to do something in person with all of them at once, but we'll figure that out. So thank you to everybody who voted. It looked like about 26,000 people in Frederick voted. Now, obviously, not nearly the number of registered voters, but again, the primary, it's kind of to be expected. All right, so I talked about this a little bit. The Good Morning Frederick hats, they're in. I'm going to be dropping them off at the shop, the home of Everything Frederick, 401 North Market Street. They will be dropped off today. They're $15, limited quantities, and I would love if you wanted one, you could drop by and get one. All right, today's show. I experienced my first Impact Club live event, and I talked with 2 friends who have started 2 businesses. Plus, I meet Shabnam Samuel, a local writer who is breaking a silence that her culture not too happy about. So let's get started. You may have noticed a little update to the Good Morning Frederick Open. I want to thank my brother, Marco, who did that for me last night. And we'll get some more stuff on there too. But I said, hey, I think it might be time for a new open, 30 days in or so. And he helped me out. I want to thank the show's sponsor, We Help You Move. Now, to be honest, these sponsors are helping me keep this thing going because, obviously we need to eat. My husband is happy if I'm contributing to the family. So really want to thank We Help You Move. Whether you're moving across the street or across the country, Nicholas and his team of moving experts make the whole thing easy, even if it is a cross-country move. They've done so many. And also, Nick is a great advocate if, let's say, you have somebody in your family in Texas and they're using a mover and you want to make sure it's not one of those movers who hold your stuff hostage. I couldn't even believe when I heard and read on social media all the time about these movers who are not quite up to par, let's say. Well, Nick can help make sure that the movers you're using, even if it's not his own company, he will make sure that they are legit. Nick is the real deal. Veteran-owned and a supporter of the Frederick community, We Help You Move is the best. Go to wehelpyoumove.com. All right, weather today, areas of patchy fog, rain showers with overcast skies, high of 69. Tomorrow, just partly cloudy and 80. Perfect for a live at 5. Get down to the creek. And Friday, partly cloudy and 77. I will absolutely take that for the Low Key Festival on Carroll Creek. So if you want to hear live music, have a good time, be social, Thursday night and Friday night, right at the Carroll Creek Amphitheater. This is a great time to do it because rain on Saturday and 63 and showers on Sunday and 70. So let's get our weekend in Thursday, Friday this week. Tomorrow and Friday. How about that? All right. We got some giveaways for you. It is the last home game for the Flying Cows, Sunday at 4 o'clock. Now you can get your tickets. All you have to do is text Cows. Come on out Sunday. Now there is a Barnyard Bash on Sunday, and we'll talk about that too. But I'd love to give you a pair of tickets to enjoy it. Also, last night, I had B-Dub's Island Soul for the first time. I had the Soul Boat, which is macaroni and cheese, greens, and I think barbecue, on top. Oh my goodness. Amazing. And I also had the Rasta Pasta. Has a little kick to it, but I liked it. It was chicken and the pasta on the bottom, so full of flavor. Now, I've asked Bobby to promise me when he does his banana pudding that I get an alert so I can head straight down and pick it up. But if you haven't tried B-Dub's Island Soul Food Truck, you've got to get these gift certificates. I have 2 gift certificates to give away. Deadline is today. Text SOUL to 888-465-2944, and I'd love to let you try them out. So worth it. So worth it. So, also you can see a bunch of other giveaways. Deadline on Friday for scones from Penelope's Pit Shop from Maryland Lottery. We've got those big spin tickets to give away. That is also a deadline of Friday. And the 4 passes to the Little Kitty Sanctuary at Fetch. You got another week for those, okay? So please, just send a text. Let me know you're listening and watching. I really appreciate it. All right. I always like to... I thought I was still going to be on screen there. I always like to make sure we do stuff to feel good here in Frederick. I'm feeling good on Wednesday, obviously. All right, the garden party. This is the Sisters in Charity. These are just ladies getting together to help some local organizations. Right now, we're forming the teams, so I need your help. If you would like to create a basket with some friends, I would love for that to happen. We would love to get 10 baskets done. So I think I have about 4 or 5 teams registered so far. The reason you need to register first is each basket can only represent one charity. So if you have a charity that you're passionate about, maybe it's the rescue mission. Maybe it is Faith House, part of the rescue mission. Maybe it is, and I'm trying to remember the new name of the religious coalition. Maybe it is Sleep in Heavenly Peace, which we love, or any number of charities that we have here in Frederick. To be honest, there are thousands, and I would love to see some that don't usually get quite so much promotion, but I need your help. I can't do it all. So Shannon from Everything Frederick and More and the Real Estate Goddesses of Mauer Realty, and Pam from the Housewives of Frederick County, and I are getting together to have this great event, and we want to raise a lot of money. So if you can put a team together, you can either scan that QR code to register or type in that bit.ly link. If you just go to your browser and type bit.ly/44 upper D, lower P, upper C, upper Z, and lower S. That's all you have to type in. You're going to get right to our form to submit, okay? And also, other people doing good, well, that is Charles Studio, who has fronted half of the budget we need to serve up some great food for our friends at the Scott Key Center for their prom. It's coming up June 5th. And I don't know if no one texted me, so we're going to go with Under the Stars. Under the Stars is going to be the theme of this prom, Beth, so you can let everybody know at Scott Key Center, Under the Stars. I'm going to reach out to all of our decoration people and let them know we're going to go with the colors silver, gold, and black because I think they're classy. And Beth is going to come pick up, maybe she did already. I got to check if she got all the dresses and stuff for our friends at the Scott Key Center. But if you can donate at all, because I'd still like to get some extra decorations and make sure they have enough food out, please do so. Go to scottkeycenter.org and click on donate and give whatever you can so that we can just make this a wonderful day. And trust me, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be getting video. We're going to highlight this prom the next day on the show. I just want it to be spectacular. You know, I want to get the red carpet. I want them to feel the paparazzi. It's going to be really wonderful because for many adults, this is the first time they will have ever attended a prom. And, I think they ought to have the most special afternoon ever. All right, after the break, we'll talk about all the events going on in Frederick. Plus, we're going to talk about Impact. This local club is absolutely killing it. And 2 friends joined together to run a couple different businesses. I think you'll find both of them something you might be interested in. And finally, Shabnam Samuel is speaking out, even though some people aren't too happy about it. All of that is coming just after this.
Key City Rotary presents the Low Key Festival, a family-friendly, all-ages event on May 17th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Carroll Creek Amphitheater. Tickets are just $5 in advance, $10 at the door. Kids under 5 are free. Live music, food from Grilled Cheese Please, traditional authentic Mexican and Rocky Point Creamery, adult drinks from Rockwell Brewery, 10th Ward Distilling and Hidden Hills Winery. Come out to downtown Frederick and have some low-key fun.
Elevate your next party with Dreamscape Slumber Events. Over 12 themes and customization available for kids, teens, and adults to enjoy. Don't have the space? We have solutions for that too. Search Dreamscape Slumber Events on Facebook.
right, summer is here pretty much. I mean, if you're a parent, this is the deadline. And if you don't have anything planned for your kids for summer, well, I'd like for you to check out the YMCA's Camp Westmar.
6 to 14 who are looking for an awesome summer. Head to the YMCA's Camp Westmar Open House this Sunday, May 19th from 1 to 3 p.m. Meet the staff, tour the camp, enjoy an ice cream and toppings bar served by the summer camp cooks. Tons of fun at Camp Westmar. Swimming in the outdoor pool, archery, fishing, climbing wall and ropes course, hiking, camp favorite Gaga Ball, arts and crafts, and more. Ages 6 to 14 can choose daytime camp, or ages 9 to 14 can select overnight camp. Put the electronics away and get outside this summer, make new friends, and have the best summer ever. Parents, transportation is provided from the Downtown Y or the Natelli Family Y. Check it all out. This Sunday, May 19th from 1 to 3 p.m. Camp West Mar, 14509 Brown Road in Sibyllsville. Get all the information at frederickymca.org.
Yes, I mean, that camp, like I said, when I was out there filming, it was rainy, it was terrible, and I wanted to stay the night. Actually, the camp is available for rent, and I am trying to figure out, maybe I need to have a family reunion up there because it is very cool. Not too far from Frederick, so if it is the first time your kids are spending the night somewhere, at a camp or anything like that, it's close enough that if you need to, you can get there. And they use international camp counselors, so they get to meet people from around the world along with the YMCA staff. So very, very cool. All right, let's talk about what is happening in Frederick. All right, happening in Frederick, brought to you by the Frederick Flying Cows. Final home game before playoffs is this Sunday. Now, we've secured a spot in the playoffs. I do think that what happens over the next 5 games, which most are away, and then we have this one home, will determine how many games we get here in Frederick. Now, for the inaugural year of the Frederick Flying Cows, how wonderful would it be if we had a lot of those games, playoffs, here in Frederick? I think it would be fantastic. I do have a little bit of, bias because I am the MC, and I would love to MC a few of the playoff games because I know it's going to be a ton of fun. But these guys are great, and we'd love for you to come out. GoFlyingCows.com for your tickets. Okay, all you need to do is text the word calendar and you'll get a copy of the Everything Frederick calendar so you can figure out what is happening this summer. Again, in Frederick, I'm telling you, there is always something going on. Let's see, today, WFRE is having a military appreciation event at Chick-fil-A from 5 to 7. Military members and their families, I'm assuming with military ID, but I don't know, get a complimentary meal. And if you just want to go out and support, there'll be kids' games, some fire trucks, police vehicles, lots more. They will be broadcasting live from there from 5 to 7. Of course, you can go to the home of Everything Frederick and more today, starting at 11 as well. Tomorrow, it is Alive at 5. The Fian Brothers, Modern Country, is playing tomorrow at Alive at 5 from 5 to 8 p.m. You do need to be 21 and up to go to that, or you can sit in the library park area on the creek. There's that little hill. You can sit out there and enjoy the music if you like, and that is completely free. Friday, of course, we've got the Low Key Festival happening on Carroll Creek, same exact place as Alive at 5, pretty much a similar setup. We've got grilled cheese please, traditional authentic Mexican, and we've got Rocky Point Creamery to satisfy the taste buds. We've also got adult beverages with Rockwell Brewery, 10th Ward, Hidden Hills. This is a family-friendly event, so all ages are welcome. We would love to see you out there. We're going to have tons of little activities for the kids. We've got cornhole, Connect 4, Tons of stuff. Please come out. It is Key City Rotary's kind of debutante to Frederick, so to say. No big sales event. This is really just a way for us to meet people of Frederick. So we'd love for you to come out to that. $5 in advance. So if you want tickets, just text, hey, I want some tickets, and I'm going to get them to you at $5, even if you do it Friday morning, okay? But by 2 o'clock Friday afternoon, you're going to then have to pay the $10. Kids under 5 are free to this event, so we'd love to see you. All right, that is Friday. Saturday, tons of things going on. Moon Valley Farm is having their Strawberry Festival. That is in Woodsboro, right off Gravel Hill Road. You can pick your own certified organic strawberries. They're also going to have food, games, farm tours, and more. This kind of coincides, I believe this is the day, isn't this the Walkersville Days day? For some reason, I thought that was the case, but maybe not. I might be confusing it with something else. There is also, let me just see here, Community Health Fair is happening at Asbury United Methodist Church, right down on West All Saints Street from 10 to 2. Free screenings and information from local area health providers. That's pretty cool if you need to, or you know somebody who needs to get a health checkup and has been kind of putting that off. Sunday, we have a bunch of farmers markets open as well. And we have, the Bead Bar. Of course, we've got the Camp Westmar open house from 1 to 3 we've been talking about. We've got the Barnyard Bash for the Flying Cows from 2 to 4. That is a free event, I think. So even if you can't come to the game, we'd love for you to come out and support that event. We've got live music from a band from the Frederick Rock School. And also on Sunday, Swifty Sunday at Frederick Made. The event is family friendly, kids ages 7 and up. You can come out and make some bracelets and do a painting. Snacks and drinks will be provided for that. You can go online and check them out for that. All right. And then coming up next week, I forgot again to add the tickets to the lip sync competition. Some people texted yesterday, though, so at least you're listening. But I will get that on our giveaway sheet. We're giving away a pair of tickets to the lip sync battle on May 23rd. That's going to be a ton of fun. It's at the Attaboy Barrel House, which I was there last night. And it's all you can drink, open bar, with Attaboy. And there's some wine, plus meat and cheese bar and a pasta bar. Plus, the biggest thing is you're helping homeless students in Frederick County. All of that money helps those kids right there. All right, the link and details for these and tons more events, as you know, you can get it by getting that calendar. And if you have an event you want me to share and talk about, just email me. everythingfredericklive@gmail.com is the one email for that. Okay, let's talk about people making the market better. Market Makers, sponsored by Intense Barbecue, family-owned barbecue food truck and catering company. They cook in small batches to make sure the food is as fresh as it can be. You can find them at intensebarbecue.com. And when you do, you can satisfy your meat tooth. Rob and Robin are great supporters of Frederick, amazing supporters of me personally, and love to give back to them. Their food is unbelievable. My favorite still, though, is the meat parfait. It was the first thing I tried from them, and I love it so much. It is a meal in a cup you can carry around and eat, which is fantastic. All right, Jen and Amanda are friends who found 2 businesses because they weren't busy enough with just one. Let's meet them and find out what they're up to. Great thing about Good Morning Frederick and doing this job is I get to talk to people doing some cool stuff. And, you know, we got some hustlers around town, which I absolutely love as well. let's say hi to Amanda and Jen. They've got two businesses that they're focused on. They've got the Slumberland Adventures overnight slumber party gear, and they've also got Living Good housekeeping that they run. So I guess one company wasn't enough. You thought, we'll just do two.
Yeah, we said, let's fill up our time.
Very good. So let's kind of go back because I think this story is interesting on how the two of you've been friends, you said, for 20 years, celebrating your 20th anniversary this month as friends, which is awesome, or this year. So you were telling me, Amanda, that you worked, Jen was your manager.
Yes, Jen was my manager at Long John Silver's when I was 16. And ever since then, we've lived together, worked together. Yeah, off and on.
That's good. She must have been a pretty decent employee, I think. Some days better than others.
Yeah.
I think we've all had our moments. It's all good. So one day you guys decided, hey, we should start a couple of businesses together?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. And were you guys, let's starting with the Slumberland. Tell me kind of how that formed and what you guys are capable of doing.
Well, we saw it on Pinterest, TikTok, and other places, and we were like, that is so cute, and I think we could definitely make it happen here. So we bought a couple different themes, and we've just been expanding ever since. We just got a movie set up, like outdoor movie with a screen, some inflatable furniture, a speaker.
Yeah, nobody else has had the idea in the area before we came out with it. I think the closest one when we first started was in Ashburn.
Okay.
Because we looked around the area to see if there was anything similar, and there wasn't. And now, we've started this up, and we've had at least several parties a month. So
yeah,
it's pretty good.
Well, and to be honest, look, I think that, with a lot of these companies, I mean, you guys can only do so many parties, right? So I think there's plenty of work for all the companies that are kind of dabbling in this same space. But, so tell us a little bit about how when somebody comes to you, how does it work when they book one of these Slumberland parties?
Well, we have the website. They'll get on that. It has all the themes that we have. They just write in the contact form their name, their information, what theme they want and what date. And then we receive that through the website, and then we send out a contract and invoice, and we go from there and just start their party.
Okay. And how many kids are you able to take care of with one theme?
We could do about 12.
Okay, very good. Well, I mean, that's a pretty hefty slumber party, sleepover party, I think, for kids. But what has been, if any, biggest challenge that you guys have had to overcome with Slumberland?
Space. Finding space to store it in our house.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet that's kind of interesting. I wouldn't have any space either. So that's, I bet that's overflowing. Soon you may have to go to some sort of warehouse space. I don't know.
Definitely. We are looking to actually expand our Slumberland into buying our own little area to hold the parties in with different themes in that area.
That would be very cool. And I know, because space in people's homes is probably limited too, so you probably have to get pretty creative when you get there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and what has been the best thing so far since starting Slumberland? Do you have any kind of experiences yet that you thought, this is why we're doing it?
The surprise videos that we get of the kids, they definitely are happy when they see it. The moms send us videos of them running down the stairs and screaming with joy. And then I think another thing that we like to hear is
the stories the next morning.
Yeah. When we go and pick them up, there's some stories of interesting overnight tales that we hear from the kids.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really fun. I mean, what a great surprise that parents can give kids, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a birthday party, right? It can just be
Correct.
for any weekend that you're looking to kind of give the kids something a little bit more elevated. I like the fact you guys have expanded into outdoor movie nights with the screen and speaker and inflatable furniture. That's so fun.
Yes.
Because again, you kind of, as a parent, I see that stuff on TikTok and all this stuff, and I just think, oh, I wish I could put all that together. And then there you go, you have it.
Yeah. Well, we like to say, people are always like, well, we can go and buy this and that. And then they're like, well, where do I put it in my home? Well,
Yeah.
we have that space right now. So let us come to your house and set it up and then take it down so you don't have to worry about it.
Right. And to be honest, I mean, you'll buy that thing for one time. It's kind of a waste. And
Right.
what much easier to have you guys come in, set it up, tear it down, take everything back. So that's pretty cool. And then in line with this, you guys have also started a home cleaning or office, I'm sure, a cleaning service called
Living Good Housekeeping.
Living Good. Sorry.
It's okay. It's great. I had actually started the business in 2016 and then stopped during COVID and then restarted it back up. And half my clients were like, we missed you. Please come back. And I was like, yes, I'll take you back on my schedule. And then my schedule just got too full. And I was like, hey, do you want to come into business with me again? And she's like, yeah. So our our schedule is filling up again, and we're looking to hire within the next couple months. So it's going pretty well.
Yeah, that's really good because I know, again, with cleaning of any kind, you get your kind of on your regular schedule. Once that gets full, because your time is finite, adding additional people to expand is excellent. But with both of your businesses, Living Good and Slumberland, you service about 30 miles, you say, from the Charlestown area. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And so that covers most of Frederick and, all the areas kind of in between. With the house, the cleaning company, what type of client right now are you guys open to be able to take?
We're open for office spaces. We are expanding to evening services for offices. We'd like to do move in and move out cleans. We've had a lot of realtors reach out for move in and move out.
Or to get their house ready for market.
Yeah, for photo letting. We are also, speaking of what we're looking for, we're thinking about starting up a nonprofit for us to go and help clean people with illnesses, being it mental or physical illness, who can't afford to pay for it or just can't move around.
Yeah.
So looking to start up that nonprofit as well.
Well, that would be a great addition to the community because obviously, it's tough if somebody just, can't physically or, again, sometimes mentally can't handle clutter or, and just families trying to help out those people. Yeah, that's really great. So definitely the move in, move out cleans through real estate agents. I know that those are big jobs, but it's kind of you're one and done, and that's kind of good. You're in and out. So what would you say with either of these companies sets you apart from some of the competitors that you might have in those industries?
I think what would set us apart is
Reliability.
reliability actually, because we've had a lot of clients in our cleaning company say a lot of the other competitors just haven't answered them or haven't shown up for things that they've booked. So that sets us apart for the cleaning. I think the quality of our tents and our themes and the variety sets us apart from others as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think that, when you can offer people choice and you're reliable and you show up when you say you are, boy, that is definitely something that, puts people at the top of my list as well. So, yeah, great job, ladies. If there was one thing you wanted to make sure all of our viewers knew about both companies, what would you say?
I think
We're always happy to help,
yeah,
whether it
happy
be
to
with
help.
party or to get your home back in order. We're happy to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that should be kind of a dual thing. When you book a party, just book the clean on the other side of it so that you can take care of the mess that 12 youngsters are probably leaving in your carpets and on your floors and everywhere else. I think that would be a great combo package to sell. Want to thank you both, Amanda and Jen, for spending some time with me today. Wish you all the success. And when you launch that nonprofit, keep us posted and we'll be sure to let our viewers know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I mean, I think, first of all, I think that was a brilliant marketing strategy for the house clean after the party, maybe even before and after. Because don't you hate you clean your house to get ready for a party and then you just have to clean it again? That would be awesome. But I love the ingenuity and the, I just inspiration that people have and the things that they're doing. That's one thing I absolutely love about this show. All right, we're going to take one more quick break and then you'll see what an impact the Impact Club is having on Frederick. Plus Shabnam Samuel talks about her journey to break the silence right after this.
All-in-One Events is Frederick's #1 source for event rentals and entertainment. Please visit us on the web at www.aioeventgroup.com or call 1-888-727-8902 for more information.
A&S Construction is a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business. It's right here in Frederick. They specialize in pretty much everything that is outside your house and attached, like roofing, siding, windows, gutters, patios, and decks. Now, I know the weather's been horrible, and you probably haven't been outside much, but you're going to be very soon, and then you're going to wish you had contacted Sandra at A&S Construction to have all this stuff taken care of. So give her a call at 301-703-2157 or email her at info@ansconstruction.net. She has extended that special offer for our Good Morning Frederick viewers where you get $750 off any roof replacement or siding replacement or $50 off any roof repairs. And I'll tell you this, Sandra is an amazing person here in Frederick. She is doing great things, and I'll bet if you say, hey, I need to get all these windows replaced, do you think I could get the $50 off for Frederick, Good Morning Frederick viewers? I have a feeling she would say yes to that. So just blame it on me. And if she doesn't, I will pay for that myself. The $50, of course. All right, contact Sandra at A&S Construction. She is a wonderful person, and I know she'll take good care of you. All right, doing good in the neighborhood. There are some people doing that. So last night, I went to my first Impact Club live event. Full disclosure, the Second Chances Garage, who I'm on the board for, was presenting as one of the 3 charities, along with SOAR, Leslie Schultz, and Friends of the Child Advocacy Center. Now, how ironic. We just had their video yesterday. I didn't even realize, I don't know why it didn't hit me, that they were actually presenting last night. So I had to talk to Eric Verdi, and he is very interested in leaving a legacy that makes a difference and an impact on Frederick. So he brought the Impact Club here, and along with friend Chris Martin, they are surely making a big impact. Let's talk to them. The man, Eric Verdi from the Impact Club. Now, first of all, I know his mom, so I kind of probably know the answer to this, but what made you start the idea of the Impact Club, or what was that about it that you liked?
So it's a great question. There's a longer origin story, but I might cry.
Come on, Eric. I need the big money shot.
Maybe.
For my stream.
So I'm from Frederick.
Yep.
I grew up in Frederick. As you know, my mom has been around here forever. My grandparents moved here in 1957. I founded Impact Club as a way to give back to the community.
Yeah.
I had two cousins tragically pass away at the age of 35 and 41. And one thing I remember from their funerals was just the amount of outpouring and impact they had in other people's lives. That I wanted to leave a legacy here in Frederick, because I have two boys. I started this when my oldest was 11 and my youngest was 8. And my oldest is now graduating high school.
Oh, wow.
And my youngest is a freshman in high school. And I wanted a way for them to be proud of their father, be proud of our name, be proud of what we do here in Frederick, because what I do professionally, it's important, but it doesn't matter and have an impact like this does.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, my wife and I wanted to leave a legacy here in Frederick, and the Impact Club is a great way that we've done.
I mean, it really is. I think, Frederick is such an amazing community, right? And we've got an organization. I don't know how you guys choose, number one.
Right.
It's just kind of a voting thing, right?
I can tell you about that,
members
yes.
all vote.
Yes, I can tell you about that.
But I just think that when you're able to take a lot of people who are able to give a little bit, but make such a huge impact, that is just phenomenal.
Exactly. So we have 408 members now. So every quarter we meet here. Now we're at Attaboy Barrel House. We've been at Idiom and we've been at the Blue Side before that closed.
Yeah.
Great location, great facility. Every quarter we come together for a live event. We bring in 3 charities. They're basically drawn at random. We do like a pre-amplification. We literally draw the names out of a hat of the 3 that are going to present. What's a really cool thing about Frederick is all these nonprofits pull together.
Yeah.
So they all root for one another. We've got 59 registered nonprofits
Okay.
that are eligible to present.
Okay.
Okay, so all 408 members have a voting interest. We vote, and the winning charity walks away with 90% of the kitty of the pot, which tonight will be about $36,000.
Unreal.
And this year, the fourth quarter in November, we're going to surpass $1 million donated since 2017.
That is really, you should be so proud. And I hope, and I'm sure your wife and your children are very proud. I know your mom's super proud, and that's what moms do. But really, you really have taken something so simplistic. But I know I'm on the board of a lot of these organizations. Tonight, Second Chances Garage, I'm on the board there. Been on the board of United Way. I love SOAR. I mean, all these organizations, that money is huge to them, right? This is a huge chunk of funds, and they're going to be able to have an amazing impact on our town,
Right.
which is excellent.
So it's a pretty cool premise. They get 5 minutes in a microphone. They don't have to do a grant. They don't have to,
Right.
spend hours writing a grant, get submitted.
Yeah.
Just literally come up here, you stand 5 minutes in a microphone, you tell your story.
Yeah.
And the most compelling story, members vote on.
Yeah.
And they walk away with a huge,
I'm telling
huge
you,
kitty.
yeah. So I've heard you've allowed some charities to come back and present who haven't won before. Is that the case?
Correct.
Now that everybody gets a little bit, or?
So now,
How does
a
that
year
work?
ago, it was winner take all.
Right.
And I have I don't want to call it a board of directors, I call it an impact growth team.
Yeah.
Got together with them, they're like, we really think we should split up the winnings.
Right.
So now every charity walks away with something.
Right. That's awesome.
And yes, non-winning charities are eligible after 2 events to come back and present again.
Okay.
Ironically, all 3 of the charities tonight have presented before.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, look, I think you're doing amazing things. I know we're gonna see that name Verdi on something
Maybe.
big.
Maybe. I
But
don't know
at
about
least those checks that are impacting our community coming right back to Frederick, I just think that is so awesome, and really appreciate the time tonight. And can't wait to see my first Impact Club.
I love it. Well, thank you for doing what you do. You do a great job.
Thank you so much. I am here at Impact Club, my first time.
Welcome.
with Chris, who you are on the board of the Impact Club.
Yes, the executive committee.
Executive committee, the fancy people. So basically, Impact Club is at its core a club.
Mm-hmm.
People who are members give every quarter.
Yep.
Every quarter.
$100 every quarter. It gets withdrawn just before we have an event like tonight.
Okay.
3 nonprofits that get randomly selected, literally out of a little black hat that
Really?
Eric has in his garage. And they have 5 minutes to speak and pull on your heartstrings, be as informative as you want to be,
Right.
to try to get everyone to vote for you at the end. And we, it used to be winner takes all, and then when we formed the executive committee, I was pretty set on having it not be winner take all, but maybe splitting it, like an 80-20 split, so then all 3 nonprofits get to walk away with something. And Eric was open to that, and he was like, all right, could we do like a 90-10 to start? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So now, the first place gets 90%, but then 10% gets split between the other second and third place. And in the nonprofit sector, that could go a long way.
Oh, heck yeah. Look, I mean, I think a lot of our nonprofits do, I didn't even pay, and we've got lighting coming in. I love this. I think, our nonprofits can do a lot with very little, many of them. How long have you been a part of
I have been a
Impact?
part of Impact Club, I believe, for 3 to 4 years.
Oh, very good. Okay.
I've known Eric for the last 25 years.
Really?
So it was kind of easy to be a part of it. But then he asked me about a year ago, hey, I think we should turn this into an executive board, and I want you to be on that board.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
Yeah.
What's been the best thing over those several years that you've been a part that you can remember, like when you went, oh my gosh, this is just amazing?
Well, I think every quarter, it's 3 different nonprofits, and you get to hear experiences, goals, stories that really, hit you. It tugs on the heartstrings a little bit.
Of course.
When you get, like the Frederick Center, you hear some very deep stories that you wouldn't necessarily resonate with unless you were in that community.
Yeah.
So it really. It's a wholesome thing to be able to hear certain things like that.
Opens your eyes a little bit to what people are dealing with, their challenges and things like that. That's pretty cool. Now that you're a dad, do you feel like the kids ones really get you?
Yeah. Well, I think anything kid related really does get to me. But when you hear something like a Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Oh yeah.
That definitely tugs on the heartstrings a little bit more when you realize that some kids literally don't have beds, and that is literally their goal.
Other than COVID, what has been the biggest challenge for Impact Club that you've seen so far?
I think as we change venues, not that we have like every year we change venues, but sometimes businesses change their operation of hours.
Right.
So sometimes they're open when we would typically have it. That kind of interferes with it. So it's finding that right venue that has good parking. It's kind of close to everyone who's a part of it. So no one's driving 45 minutes to an hour to get somewhere. On top of that, you wanna keep growing. The membership in $100 times over 400 members, that can pack a punch, but we want to keep giving more and more back, and we get nothing out of this except for giving back to nonprofits. Being a local native in Frederick, I mean, the nonprofits kind of make our county, specifically the city, what it is.
It for
Something
sure
special.
does, and I think that Frederick is such an amazing giving community. So how can people register, sign up, check out Impact Club? What do you recommend if somebody's interested?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find us on Facebook. That's the number one goal. It has links to everything because there are a couple different Impact Clubs. You want to go to our exact Facebook page to make your clicking on the Frederick chapter of it. You get to see what nonprofits have won. You get to kind of see a highlight of what an event like this is like if you couldn't make it out or you were unsure if you should join. You get to kind of see firsthand what it's like.
That's awesome. Well, look, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. Impact Club, check it out. It's okay. Dapper DJ's going to walk right through the shot. We're going to get him on the show next. I've already talked to him. But look, check out Impact Club. This is what Frederick is all about, taking a little bit about what each person has and making a huge impact. And we think you guys are doing great things.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. All right, Impact Club, very cool. I definitely am going to be signing up and becoming a member because, again, $30, $33 basically a month, and $35,000 yesterday. Want to congratulate friends of the Child Advocacy Center. Now, I don't want to take credit for running your interview on the day you were there, but just kidding. Look, they're doing amazing things. And the woman that spoke yesterday talked about how the organization impacted her and her son. And boy, you just can't, you couldn't fault them at all. SOAR and Second Chances walked away with some money as well, which again, phenomenal. All right. I know this show's going to run a little long today and I apologize, but there's so much to get to. And this is People of Frederick. All right, Shabnam Samuel is a writer who really didn't come into her own until a little bit later in life. Let's hear her story, which I think you will find as fascinating as I did. So fascinating for me to meet such talented people located right in our community of Frederick. And my next guest is no different. Shabnam Samuel is right here in Frederick, an author who's just released a new book called A Fractured Life. Welcome.
Thank you, Danny. I'm thrilled to be here.
I'm so honored to have you. I think it's fascinating. I've met so many authors recently, and I've loved to write. I've been writing since I was 16, mostly like journaling and things like that, but it's so amazing to me when people are able to actually put everything on paper. The story is told. And so tell me, what was the process of writing A Fractured Life for you?
You mentioned journaling. The power that journals have are actually underestimated. So my book started with me. I don't know if you remember, Facebook used to have a page called Notes.
Yes.
So I used to this was way in 2010, maybe 2009, 2010. I used to just sit and write, my thoughts in that page, in Facebook and save it there. Because for me, it was like, okay, I saved right here. I always wrote back home from India, where I'm from. I went to a boarding school. So it was mandatory that we write letters home every week. And most of the kids wrote 2 lines or 3 lines. My letters were pages. And that's, I guess, where my essay writing skill started. But I never did write because the things that I wanted to write about, Danny, was something that our community, my society, my home, my family did not encourage. There were so many silences that we had to adhere to. For us, it was a code of ethics, like whatever happened inside your home does not go outside.
Right.
So it was difficult for me to even, write something and put it out there because I knew I would get into trouble or I would hurt somebody's feeling. But somewhere in 2009, I went through a traumatic kind of an experience. My first husband passed away. So it was, and I was sitting at home by myself. My son was grown and gone. And I was like, what am I doing? Who am I keeping these secrets from? And so that's when I started writing in those Facebook pages. And before I realized it, I had like 20 or 30 essays.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's pretty incredible. Certain cultures for sure have that exact stigma of not sharing information, keeping things closed. I totally understand that. How did it feel once you kind of broke out of that? How was that for you?
It just made me realize that I was keeping a lot inside myself. My health was being affected, mental health, physical health. So with mental health, we Indians don't go to therapists. We don't believe in them, at least the era that I was born. So for me, it was therapeutic. I
Yeah.
was sitting there writing, understanding what I was feeling, acknowledging what had happened. So it was very therapeutic.
The task of writing feelings and really releasing them. So, I was so good at it by the time I got to my 30s that my husband now says, because I can't remember specific things about even our first dates or anything like that. And because I really do write it and release it, and he always makes a joke and says, well, go check your journal. You'll be able to figure it out. But it can be a very successful tool for people who have been through a traumatic experience or just the day to day stresses. Being able to put that pen to paper and get rid of that is just a great way to survive, I guess, in this world. So when you go back to India, what do people say stuff to you about how dare you talk about this, or are you getting better responses?
No, so it was problematic when I wrote it, but I never thought the book would come out of it. Um, when when the book came out, um, there were a lot. When the book started to come out, when I was telling people my book is going to be published, blah blah blah. So some people within the family were like, "Oh, why are you writing about history that's past? It's gone, it's done with." So those were the kind of feedback that I got. But then again, I looked at the people and I said, "How important are these people in my life?"
Yeah.
And I moved on. Everybody has been very supportive within my family. They would have liked it if I didn't talk about certain things, but they accept me for who I am now, and we just go on with life.
Well, to be honest, I guess that's probably the greatest outcome you can expect, right? So they are reluctantly accepting, but they have still allowed the relationship to continue, which would have been a terrible thing. It's kind of like a trauma on top of a trauma if that were to happen. So I'm so glad that they, obviously would have preferred things to be kept under wraps, but are fine that you've released it. So congratulations. That's really a success, I'd say.
It is more than the book being published and going talking about my book. I think that was a major thing for me.
Yes, yes. So from the book, you have now kind of embarked on a speaking engagements as well as a retreat. So tell me a little bit about how that started to develop once the book came out.
So the retreat was actually before my book.
Okay.
I started the retreat in 2014, um, because that's around that time, like I told you, I started writing in 2009 or so, but I was still very secretive about it. Um, and then I used to long to go to writers retreat within the US, but I couldn't really get time off to go off for such long periods or even afford some of them, which are some brilliant retreats we have in the US. And then I thought about India. I'm like, there are so many good writers there, just not in English, the vernacular languages too. So for me, it was like a little give back to my country. And writers' retreats hadn't happened in India when this started. Um, there was no such formal thing called a writers' retreat. So we were one of the pioneers there. And now we have a few good ones coming up. There's space for a lot of us. So that's how my retreat came about. And then I realized there were so many people like me, who come with this baggage of our culture, who need to find somebody who they recognize themselves in. And they feel, okay, she did it with all of this happening. Why can't we do it? So
Yes.
for me, that was major. And that's how it came about. That's how, once the book came out and people read it and started talking about it, and there was press coverage, that's when people started inviting me, and I reached out to a couple of people where I knew the audience would be absolutely perfect. Like we have various South Asian domestic violence abuse groups and all of that. That's where my speaking came from.
The fact that you're kind of breaking or shattering the silence, again, culturally, even just as a woman, and moving through this, marrying, I guess, of an American culture versus an Indian culture, and finding a way to have a happy medium in between, or at least a peaceful one. You were saying earlier, that there are groups here in the US, or in Frederick even in particular, which kind of mirror the Indian upbringing that you have. Can you talk a little bit more about people that may find your book cathartic and a way for them to get started?
And I'm going to say this at the risk of being, I don't know what. We Indians have a very patriarchal society.
Yeah.
There are still, our culture still has this ingrained in us. It might be changing now with the younger generation, and I'm hoping it is. But we're still under this shadow of, we are still second class citizens as women, as Indian women. We got to defer all decisions, our choices to the male in the relationship. We still have that, and people may deny it, but it is there. For people like that who are stuck, there are some people stuck in marriages that they don't know how to get out of. And, I'm not saying that I'm here to break up marriages.
Sure.
At least, talk about these things. Start going to therapists. There's no harm in going to a therapist. Take your spouse, go without your spouse. So it's people like that who realize there are other Indians that they can align themselves with. Because as immigrants, somehow we have this stamp on us that immigrants are so wonderful, so educated, so happy, so, and that's a myth. That's actually a myth. A lot of us within the immigrant community are not that perfect. We're not perfect at all.
Sure. Yeah, look, I mean, I hope no one really puts that on any person, much less an immigrant who's in a country that's not familiar, and adjusting to that a new way of life perhaps, or anything, and assimilating and trying to be successful, because that's really a very high bar for any of us to achieve. So certainly it's unfair for that to be placed on anyone else. But I do think it's very brave to move forward with something that that there are people within your culture, whether here in the United States or in India, that may, not like it very much that you're kind of taking this stance. But I do think it's so important. And there are many organizations working all around the world to help women to, have some degree of independence within the culture that they're living in, or some degree of thoughts of their own. And I'm sure that, there's always going to be some rejection of that, but certainly it would be great if someone was struggling with any sort of relationship or mental health or any of that, that they feel warmed by your story and know that there may be a solution for them.
I hope so.
Yeah. So what is next for you? What's next on the agenda, so to speak?
So my second book has gone to my editor. This book was supposed to have been published during the pandemic. 2021 was our year to publish, but because of the pandemic, we decided not to, so we pushed it back. And meanwhile, since I had nothing to do during the pandemic, I rewrote the book again.
Ah, my goodness.
I changed the format, and I think I like the second format better. My publisher likes it better too. Yep, it's gone to the editor, and we're looking at a 2025 release, hopefully.
Can you share a little bit about what this book is about?
So, there are two books. Okay, I didn't give you the whole truth, but so there are two books. Okay, the second book is a sequel to my first book. I was raised by my grandparents, my mother's parents, And my grandfather wrote a letter to me every day ever since I turned 6. And he kept them in, we call them notebooks back home, like two bound thick notebooks, letters addressed to me. So a lot of my information that people try to tell me is not correct. Uh,
Ah.
I had my books to say, okay, I didn't make this up. It's right there in the book. So nobody could really come at me and say, oh, that's not true. So my second book is called Hello, Papa. Are you listening now? So I have picked about 12 letters from the book that he wrote to me, and I have replied to them.
Very, very cool. So when he wrote these letters to you, did he send them or he just stored them?
He just stored them here. These are the books, if you can see.
So you never ever received them?
No, he wrote, he wrote and locked it up in his cupboard every day. Every evening he would write. I kind of knew he was writing because some stolen moments, I used to go look at some things, but I could never sit and read them till I was an adult.
As beautiful as it would be to get these letters, how, I guess this book is in response, kind of answering them, is your way of communicating with him, but kind of makes me sad that he's not here to have enjoyed it. Well, that's really, really interesting. And oh, now I can't wait to read it because I'm sure it's just going to be great. We want to have you back when you release that one. I would love to be one of the first to announce that it's ready to be released to the public because I think it's just fascinating, but I do think it's equally important for everyone to kind of understand what you went through, and that bottling up of all of these emotions and releasing them can be so healthy. And we wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you.
Oh, I could have talked to her for hours. I just am, again, I know I've used the word a million times, but fascinated by her journey and this book. I mean, what a gift in a way to write a letter to your grandchild every day. But it really does make me sad that she never had the opportunity to discuss it with him while he was still here. So I can't wait to read that book. All right. Shannon reminded me we've got 2 tickets to the Spirits of Maryland event. It happens May 18th from 1:30 to 4:30. That is Saturday. It is at the Visitation Academy grounds. You'll get your first peek at the new boutique hotel and the event space and the new condos that are over there. That's at 200 East 2nd Street. Tickets are $35 and up, $10 for designated driver, or you can reach out to SOS Safe Ride, of course, but you can win them. We've got tickets for you. Shannon has tickets, and we're going to draw the winner on Friday, and you'll be able to come by the home of Everything Frederick to pick them up. But this is, you get to sample spirits and cocktails from local distilleries. I think there's about 8 or something like that. You can purchase bottles to go. You can sample a cocktail that you love. And if you love it, you can purchase a full drink. So you can go prepared for that. It's going to be a great one. Of course, our friends at 10th Ward Distilling, McClintock, Rosy Cheeks, plus others are going to be there. So this is going to be a great event. May 18th. Win 2 tickets. Just text spirits to our number. I'm going to share this graphic at the home or on Everything Frederick and More in the group. And if you haven't joined that group yet, what is wrong with you? 127,000 of your friends are there. I'll share it so everybody knows, but we'd love to give those out to you. All right, I know we're 10 minutes over. Apologies, but there was just so much great stuff to get to today. All right, tomorrow, Margaret and Joyce were coworkers who decided to take a leap of faith and take over CK Nails in Whittier. And Tom Palermo has been floating for 8 years, and he wants you to give it a try. All right, we're on all the socials, so when you have a minute, search and follow and subscribe. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Whew, happy Wednesday. Get out there and be great, Frederick.